You're now listening to the Z-Listers podcast with Brady, Neil, and AJP.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. How you doing?
I love you.
I love you too. No, we're good to go, bro. We'll get you out of here quick.
Don't worry about it, brother.
No, I know, but I said 7:59, and I'm never on time.
Yeah, so make a 24-minute podcast.
24-minute podcast.
34. Sorry, I'm bad at math.
It's okay.
It's hard because like an hour is 60, but
Yeah.
usually we count to like 100 with stuff. So
It's weird. There's no metric for time.
what does that mean?
Like,
Oh, like
you know what I
like
mean?
an alternative.
Yeah. But
That's
a
weird.
lot of other places do military time.
Yeah,
I-
which I don't like.
That confuses the shit out of
I
me.
have to like add and
Yeah.
subtract.
And there's probably an easy way to do it, but I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
We were talking at work the other day about, come on, dude. What do you want to be? Look how overexposed it is. Put your shirt down. Come on. We're too early in an episode for that. Damn it. You made me forget what I was going to say now. Something at work the other day, but now I don't remember.
We're talking about
It doesn't matter.
time, metric, time.
Let me get
military time.
Let me get an intro.
Okay.
Welcome to the Z-Listers podcast. My name is AJP, the MC. Next to me is my beautiful one-shirt owning co-host, Brady Neal.
Hey.
We do definitely have to keep a wardrobe here for you. I'm going to clean out half of that closet over there and just have T-shirts for you.
That's really nice.
Yeah. It's not because I want to be nice.
Yeah.
It's because
It's out of necessity because I'm bad.
that's okay.
I'm bad. I'm repping the Hawks hat
Yeah.
in honor of us getting bounced in the playoffs. I say us. I'm not really like a. I
That's your
watch
team, though.
highlights. Yeah.
I'm a
It's my
I'm a
team.
Nuggets fan.
Yeah. Hey, they're still in the
I
playoffs.
know.
They're
Playing
going.
the Suns, right?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I know a thing
Nikola
or two.
Jokic.
I know a thing or two.
You should get a Jokic jersey. That'd
Should
be
I?
cool.
I think I might have one.
Oh, nice.
I really think I might
You
have
got one off of Yeah. Oh, I can't say
The
it.
dark web. No, DHgate.
Okay. Yeah, how's it going?
Good, dude. I reset myself.
How so?
I just got really sick the other day. I evacuated the dance floor.
This episode is sponsored by Wawa Donuts.
Oh, dude. I got to tell you something. I was going to give them benefit of the doubt until... So, basically, the other day, I got a donut from Wawa. You okay? You could touch it. I'll take it.
Okay.
The other day, I got a donut from Wawa.
Yeah.
And I know this is so stupid, but halfway through, I realized it's like raw in the middle.
Yeah.
Just absolutely raw. And I've gotten coffee rolls from Dunkin' Donuts before that have also been raw.
Yeah.
And this is disgusting, but I'll admit it because this is like our therapy here.
Yeah.
I've eaten the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've from Dunkin' Donuts, I've been like, I really want this coffee roll, but it's like fucking because I like it when they're like flaky. You ever have a coffee roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, those are the best. Like when they're actually good.
Yeah.
But I've eaten some raw coffee. It's happened multiple times, and I've eaten them, okay? It's not great, but like I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee rolls.
Yeah.
But this donut from Wawa, I put it right back in the bag. I was like, I can't eat this. And all day I was feeling like, ooh, I was just feeling like queasy and shit. And then, I got home, and I was still not feeling good. I laid down, and just like waves of nausea.
Yeah.
And then, I don't want to gross out anybody listening, but... everything came out, and it was a hard reset. And then yesterday I was like eating fruit and vegetables, trying to like say sorry to my stomach, but two, I didn't want to go like eat a fucking, something else heavy when I have nothing in my
It
system.
could be hard to get back on the horse.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Like after a traumatic event like that. Like
Oh, yeah.
Kind of got to go light.
Yeah, I had soup for dinner.
I just shivered.
It's okay. I was just drinking water. But now I'm good. I feel great.
That's awesome.
I did hurt
You
my
look
back.
Healthy.
Thank you.
You're sparkling.
I did hurt my back a little bit throwing up, but I guess I'm getting old. I was really sick, dude.
It's really funny because you like texted me about the undercooked donut.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And yeah, no problem. And I used to really not only love, but I had like a real problem, like a real issue getting Wawa apple fritters. Like I was addicted to these things. I get them like every morning, and they're terrible for you. But not only are they terrible for you, like they were like all like I'd say 80% of the time, like they
That's
would
crazy.
be like doughy to the point of like rawness or like being undercooked in the middle. And I'm like cramming it in because I'm like always late to work.
Sure.
And, I'm like rushing to get to work, and I'm driving with one hand while trying to cram this fucking pastry the size of my outstretched palm into my mouth. And it's just like doughy and disgusting, but it also kind of tastes good. Like I kind of love it and hate it. And I would like have like kind of stomach issues. I'd have like bad, but I never puked, but like the other end, there were concerns. And sorry to get gross. And I'd have like bad acid reflux. And it's funny, like it never stopped me from eating them.
That's crazy.
And I never connected the dots.
See, that's how I feel about the coffee roll from Wawa.
Yeah.
There was one time I got it, and it was all the same. Or I'm sorry, the coffee roll from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
There was same Dunkin' Donuts. I got it once, and I was like, I'll try again. And then they were fine. Then I got it again. It was fine. Then I got it like a third time or whatever, or a fourth time, and it was raw. I was like, But I ate the raw the one time. I was like, I'll be good. But this Wawa shit. But I was gonna say, I was gonna give it the benefit of the doubt until you told me about the apple fritter stuff.
Yeah.
Because we were not going to the same Wawa.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Wawa just doesn't let it be known they don't really fully understand how to cook pastries.
I think that's because of COVID, because they come individually wrapped now.
Yeah.
Where I think they're just getting them already baked.
Right.
Whereas before they were baking them in the store. Because you remember you used to open that thing up and have to take the little paper, put it in a bag yourself?
Yeah.
Now they're all wrapped up by themselves. So.
Well, even if they're getting it from like a...
Oh, yeah, they still have to... It's still their problem.
What the fuck is their quality control that the shit is always like undercooked?
Have you ever eaten something and gotten sick and then never had it again? Like, has there ever been something that made you sick and just irrationally you're just like, you associate that with being sick?
I don't think I've eaten something. Is this mic like drooping? Is it getting lower?
It might tighten up the ball part.
This? Oh, that's much better. It's right at my face level.
There you go.
What were we saying?
The undercooked stuff. Oh, it's being sick from eating something.
Okay, so I don't know if there's ever been like a food that I've sworn off from like a bad experience, but I remember one time a couple years ago, I went to my cousin's house. He used to live in Queens. And, I like spent the weekend or whatever. And we just decided we had gone and got food. And then I was like, should we like get drunk tonight? And he was, or actually I think he pitched it because he just thinks like me being drunk is like the funniest thing. Yeah. And so he was like, I'll buy us like alcohol just so you get drunk. I was like, okay, well you got to get drunk with me. So the two of us split something like, I'm going to say it was like a 12-pack probably of Twisted Teas.
Oh, Christ.
It had to have been more because like six, I don't think would get us that lit, but.
3 each?
No, I'm saying 6 each.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess maybe it was a 12-pack, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we were just, like, chugging Twisted Teas, and, like, I think we were playing, like, VR. It was really fun. And then the next morning...
deadly combination.
Next morning, I just woke up and... Bleh! And now I can't look at Twisted Teas the same.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah,
Besides coffee rolls.
Oh, yeah, like, I was going to say, because that did that for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'll eat another donut or a donut anywhere or coffee. Dude, it just...
That's upsetting.
I know, but just you talking about the apple fritters, I felt fine, and then you were talking about that, I was getting, like...
I'm sorry.
Clammy.
It's like when we talk about ghost stories and shit.
Yes,
we both go,
I get so scared.
Stop.
Slim Jims.
Oh.
I got sick. I was probably 10 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
I was eating a bunch of Slim Jims, probably just drinking soda all day and running around.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't eaten a Slim Jim in 15 years, probably.
Isn't it so funny, like, the shit that you'll put in your body as a kid?
Yeah.
I remember going to the same cousin. He had, like, a block party.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going to it, and there was, like, I guess... like Coke, like in the cans, like free Coke.
Yeah.
And I remember within an hour, I must have drunk like 7 cans of Coke. And we were running around playing tag and shit, and I would just like stop off for a hydration break and just chug a fucking Coke. That's disgusting. I put probably like 300 grams of sugar in my body in like an hour.
Wait, I got to see what's in 1 can of Coke.
I'm going to say 1 can of Coke, like the 12-ounce can is like 54 grams of sugar. That's my guess.
39.
Oh, wow. Shout out Coke. Practically a health product.
Basically.
No, and actually there was a time where I went to medieval times.
273 grams of sugar.
Yikes.
In
my little 5'4", like 13-year-old body. I I remember one time I went to medieval times with my family, and I don't know what it was, but we were having a gay married time, because it's always lit at medieval times.
The one here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I was just thinking about that place the other day. Go on.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And I must have just had something that was like not cooked right or whatever, because like that night, in the wee hours of the morning, I woke up and just like
I'm gonna censor this stuff because it's
put a trigger warning.
Yeah. It's not bad, but it's just ugh.
And then I remember my stepdad coming in the room and like just like being a dick. He was like he was like, what the fuck, and like just
that's
like,
so that
mean
makes you
to
feel
me.
worse.
Yeah. Well, he was a bad guy.
Yeah. Do you ever have to clean it up yourself as a kid?
I don't think myself. I mean,
I
was neglected, but not that much.
Not because like I had to, but I definitely did. 'Cause I was like, I felt bad.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm like,
I don't think so.
You know,
there was one time where I was in like I had like a loft bed. I was up in the loft. I had a stick and a Swiss Army knife, and I was whittling. Like down south shit is different. We just be. We don't have like there's not like books and stuff down there, So and so I was in my loft bed whittling a stick for no fucking reason. I just like somebody taught me the basic stroke of whittling. Yeah, and I just like did it endlessly. And somebody made the mistake of giving a 9-year-old a Swiss Army knife. So I think it might have been my dad. Shout out Brian.
Shout out Brian.
But anyway, I somehow managed to poke the knife through my fingernail.
Oh shit.
It didn't come out the other side of my finger or anything, but still it went through the nail. Fucking excruciating pain, but I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want my mom to take away my Swiss Army knife. Man, that fucking hurt.
Dude, my grandpa had a knife that was like, it was sort of like a Swiss Army knife, but it came apart and it had a knife, a fork, and a spoon.
Oh.
Right? And it was small, and the handle was like a fake wood looking thing, but the knife was like razor sharp. And he would like let me use the fork and spoon, but like he would have to take it apart because it like clicked together and like all the 3 pieces.
Right.
And it was in the drawer and I was playing with it and I knew I shouldn't have. And I sliced my hand like good. But at the same thing, I'm like, I can't say that I did this because I'm not supposed to be playing with this. So like I'm in trouble, but I'm also in trouble because I'm like bleeding and shit. Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Being a kid's crazy. You just got to figure shit out. It's just
really
like
is. You understand nothing.
Yeah, until it happens and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of like getting cut, we used to play on the train tracks, which I know is like terrible.
Yikes.
But a bunch of us, and the train would like slow down because it was like near a spot that it stopped. So like we used to jump on it. Like we took it places.
Jump on the train?
Yeah.
What?
And then the guy, the conductor.
What kind of childhood did you live?
Dude, it was
fucking Stand By Me?
We were like 4th grade. And then we never saw this, but the like rumor was that the guy in the back of the train had a paintball gun in case kids were jumping on a train.
Yeah.
But there was this one time, so we'd all kind of like line up, and then one person would like run next to it, grab the thing, and go. And I was like probably 2nd or 3rd in line, and this one kid, he went up and he grabbed it, and then he slipped, and he like fell to the side of it, but he like cut himself on the rocks next to the train, and it was like we had to bring him back to his house. And like, how do you tell him what happened? You know what I mean? Because we're playing on the train, and like, there was like we could do like pretty much anything we wanted, but that was like the one thing, like just don't play on the train. We were playing on the train.
And what's funny is like that's such a reasonable rule.
Oh yeah, totally reasonable. Don't play on the train. Yeah, it was crazy.
But that's easy enough to explain. Like kids just fall down. Just be like, oh yeah, we were skateboarding or something. We were playing tag.
Yeah. But that was like the most traumatic. That was like, we thought he was like, it was crazy.
You ever seen a little kid try to lie?
Oh yeah.
It's like
sometimes they come up with like some really funny shit. Like they're like, how you think that's what we're gonna just go with? And it's funny when they think that like they got it over on you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
You almost got to respect the game, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And then I think too, like, you know, I have cousins and stuff, and you have younger siblings.
Yeah.
But like when I first, when I was doing like teen nights and stuff, right? The first teen night I ever went to, might have been 14 or 15, and I was like in there like, because I paid $20, so I'm in there counting like how many people, and I'm like doing the math, like, wait, they're making a lot of money here.
Yeah.
So then I started like as a promoter for the company that through the first teen that I went to because they were always looking for promoters.
Right.
And as a promoter, you'd get like $2-3 a person that would be on your list. It was, pretty good.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, I don't want to be I don't want to just be a promoter. I want to like throw the party, right?
Right.
So me and my boy Scotty K, who
Scotty K.
he'll be on here soon. I want to get him on here. But we went to a club down the shore. Like I emailed him or whatever. I told him what I wanted to do, and we went down there and like looked. My grandma drove us. We looked at the club and like set the whole thing up and planned it. Just me and him, and the party happened on my 16th birthday. So like that whole time, like this lady was like. We were like signing contracts and shit. I was 15 years old. And I'm thinking about it. Like I have like younger cousins and I'm just thinking like how, like you just told me your brother's about to start 9th grade. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, 1 year, like in another year, like can you see your brother just going to a nightclub and being like, yeah, I want to throw a teen night here. And the lady just like giving him a contract to sign. And like, I told, the lady was like, do you have security that you use? And I was like, yeah, I got that covered. So I called up one of my friend's older brothers and I said, because they were like 19. I was like, can you get like 5 friends? I need security for this party. So like, and it was like, this is not like a banquet hall we're talking about. This is like a multi-million-dollar nightclub that we were like throwing these parties at that I had like 19 and 20-year-olds doing security. And like, dude, it was just crazy times. And I think now, like my cousin, I'm like, I can't picture you doing that. But like when I'm doing it, like I'm just like, yeah, like what's the big deal? But it's just crazy thinking about that shit. And the train thing too, thinking about playing on the train, that's just nuts.
Did the parties get pretty lit?
The first one didn't really do that well. It was like the middle of winter.
Yeah.
And then we started throwing parties like everywhere.
Anybody ever die?
No, nobody ever died.
It's fucking lame.
Why? You want people to die at the party?
Well, yeah, that's how you know it was a good party.
That's like the.
Did you hear how crazy it was?
That's your caliper.
I fucking OD'd in the bathroom. 16-year-old OD'd in the bathroom.
That wasn't a thing when. You know what was funny when I was DJing?
ODing wasn't a thing.
Not at like fentanyl wasn't popping yet.
Well, yeah, you'd still do too much coke or something.
Yeah, but that wasn't even a thing either. Kids were just trying to get drunk then.
Right.
When I was doing it was funny. Like I'd do Sweet 16s and like banquet halls and stuff. And they'd always have like a back door. So like after the party, I'd pull the car up to the back door, and there'd always at like Sweet 16s, there'd always be like 2 or 3 kids like sitting up against the wall, like puking in the back because they all like snuck in alcohol.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah. What were you gonna say just now?
I don't remember. But yeah, now that you said that, I should have like spread a rumor. That the party got so crazy.
Yeah, or at least say like a couple kids had to get their stomachs pumped or something.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
That's crazy to me that's like a thing to
pumping your stomach.
Yeah, to get that drunk.
Yeah,
it's scary.
I wonder when was the first stomach pump?
And who even came up with that idea?
Like there had to be somebody. There had to be like a first doctor that was like, okay, maybe if we like empty the whole contents of this person's stomach.
Yeah,
I could have used that Thursday night. Dude.
Oh yeah,
the stomach pump was invented in 1767 by a Scottish physician named Alexander Monroe, but it did not gain much popularity. In the early 19th century, some other guy from Philadelphia independently developed a stomach pump to treat 2 children who had been poisoned with, what is this word? You can help me out here. Landium?
Laudanum?
Laudanum?
I feel like I've heard of that before. Now look up when was the first penis pump?
I was getting ready to start typing. Fuck you. That's funny. I'm going to look it up.
Laudanum?
What was
Duodenum.
Dead air, who cares?
Yeah, fuck it. We're not funny.
Wait a second. Penis pumps have been around for a long time. An American physician named John King invented this brilliant contraption in 1874.
That's crazy.
Which would produce an artificial erection. Dude, imagine it's 1874 and you want to get... Dude, I think of everything like video games and movies. Yeah. Imagine it's Red... Have you been playing Red Dead 2? Did you buy it?
Nah.
You missed the sale. I'm going to buy it for you.
I did. No, you don't.
Why? I want to.
That's sweet. Okay.
Because I love you.
Okay, well then, yeah. Oh, you're going to buy it for me? Then yeah, definitely.
Remember, we started this podcast and then like we restarted and restarted.
Yeah.
And I always felt so bad. And I just knew that like if you trusted the vision, which you did, and I'm so grateful for you for doing that, that I knew it would like end up being and looking good. Yeah. And that's not to toot our own horns, but toot a little bit. Like... I think we said this, but like you can say that this sucks. You could say we're not funny,
Yeah.
but you can't say it doesn't look or sound good.
Yeah.
And I just will say that I'm very proud of what we've made here.
Me too.
And the couple times we restart, I just felt so bad. The first time I gave you a bunch of alcohol. The second time I bought you Spider-Man for PS4.
And then one time you just gave me a bunch of money.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm really sorry. I just felt so bad because I felt like I was wasting your time and like.
Well, it's funny because first of all, I had no time to waste.
That's true too.
Like I don't do anything, and second of all, like I don't contribute anything to the podcast other than just being here.
Also,
So it's so
damn,
funny.
I kind of damn it because I could have just told you we kept going. I never could have said that like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if I just told you we're just keep going, you never would have known which is number one.
Right, you would go out of your way to be like, okay, I'm gonna like wipe everything
yeah.
and just like start anew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, I keep it honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
So I am.
What are we talking about? Penis pumps?
I don't know.
You were saying like video games.
Oh yeah. So imagine I think of everything like movie and video games. So imagine like Red Dead Redemption 2, and you're just like been using a penis pump for 25 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's also funny because like back then, if you couldn't get an erection, you really weren't shit. Because it's not like you had like, you know,
but they probably had some.
Pornhub and stuff. Yeah, sure. They had like Nickelodeons.
No,
with,
not
like,
even now. I'm saying they probably had like some like roots that they chewed on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They knew some shit.
But I'm just saying, like, if you can't get it up back then, because back then, if you see a woman naked, it's like,
Yeah, it's a big
crazy.
deal.
Like, when else would you see a woman naked except for when it's time to make something happen?
Yeah.
So
Maybe that was better though.
what was better?
Because erections were just natural.
Right.
They weren't just, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
now like, you know, you could sit here while I'm setting up and be looking at the craziest shit ever.
Yeah.
But like, and you know, you probably shouldn't be getting a boner right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
You-
would you have a problem with it?
Do you remember how Trump said he doesn't work out because you only get a certain amount of heartbeats?
Yeah.
Do you remember-
He said your body is like a battery.
Yeah.
And you have a certain amount.
Yes, and if you work your heart up, you're like using extra heartbeats.
Yeah.
Do you think that do you think like you get a certain amount of boners, and then like if you're getting too many, you're not getting 100%?
Like it won't be as. I like the little
Yeah, you know.
little tap on the table after
Because
that.
this is important conversations that we need to get to the bottom of.
Rephrase the question or like ask me again.
Like, do you think that you get a certain number of boners
In your life?
in your life, and then if you exceed that number, you could still get them, but you're gonna like your iPhone battery.
Yeah.
Like you could charge it to 100%, but your battery's not at 100%.
Right.
Like mine, I just checked the other day; it's at 85.
Right.
Like my total capacity.
Okay.
So even though I'm at 100%,
It's like
It's
the
really-
efficiency goes down.
exactly, yeah.
Well, I think, that's quite literally how it works. Like when you get older, it's harder to get an erection. It's harder to maintain
Well, that's because
one.
you're old and your blood
It's
needs
not,
to go
like,
other
stronger.
places. You
It's
know.
not as strong. I mean, there's things you can do to like get like
I'm talking about cowboys though, not right now.
cowboys. Yeah. You make a good point. I mean, people weren't living as long then as they do today. People
Sure.
were dying at like 50 from like scurvy and shit.
But see, you know something? I hear that, but then I also hear that like so many babies died that it skewed the numbers and
Oh,
kids.
Interesting.
And I'd have to look that up more. But I'm not saying that people lived to like 80 and 90 back then.
Yeah.
But I think it's, again, I got to look this up. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But like people weren't just like Jesus' time. Like people weren't just dying at like 40.
Right.
I don't think.
Right.
Not always. You know, people died at 40, but I think babies kind of skewed the numbers. You know?
Yeah, but back to the boner talk. I mean, if you're in like Red Dead Redemption times, like you're a cowboy in the Wild Wild West, chewing on sarsaparilla and all that nonsense. I think if you're like smoking cigarettes all day
Yeah, that's
and
true.
drinking like moonshine and shit,
And you're not
like,
really bathing.
yeah, like your boner's gonna go down.
You think your crotch itches, bro? If you were in 1899,
Yeah.
dude,
I'd have scabies by now.
you'd have gangrene. You just have a hole down there.
Oh wow, sorry family who listens to this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I like
What?
I don't know. I like this podcast.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. You having fun still?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
very much.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the time. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I know, but I told you.
Don't fucking worry about it. I want to make. You know what my wife said to me on my way out the door? She said, "Go make me $1 million."
Did she?
Well, she said something like that.
What was her exact words?
I can't remember. She was like, go get rich. I need you to get rich.
When I left, I pet Suki and I said, I'm going to make you rich. I said, I'm going to get rich so I can spoil you with more toys.
Oh, dude, can we talk about Suki?
You know something? Yes, we can. And I know last time I said I was going to have the questions and the historical figure stuff. I just want to talk about my cat. I want to delete everything up until this point and just make this whole episode about my cat.
I love it.
So she's a Republican. And I'll tell you how we found that out. So we have a lot of toys for her, and this one is like we have a lot of things like on a stick, like feathers and I got one that's like a fishing reel with like sushi at the end. She loves that one. But we have another one that has like a rainbow on it. It's like little stuffed toys at the end.
Okay.
And out of all the little things that we have that dangle, she like attacks the rainbow one.
Really?
Yeah, so she's super MAGA.
You should buy some Bud Light to see what she thinks of it.
Well, I definitely should. Do they? Yeah, dude. Wait, they gotta have Bud Light cat toys, or even if it's a dog toy.
Yeah.
Bud Light cat toy. That's a great idea, dude. Dude, if I come home one day and she's blasting Kid Rock. So if you would have asked me how it was, we got her Sunday.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me how it was Sunday night, I would have been like, this is the greatest ever. Like, I love having a cat.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me Wednesday morning, I would have been like, get this fucking thing out of here.
What happened?
She was just on sicko mode, dude. She was trying to get under the bed. Then she jumps on my dresser, like on my nightstand, and she'll like jump on my head. And then she'll like climb behind the bed, and there's nothing back there, but she can't get out when she gets back there. So I got these like giant cardboard boxes. Like there's basically like a cardboard fort like all around my bed now, so she can't get back there. And then she was just like, she goes up on this bookshelf that's like higher than that table over there, and then jumps off of that, and I'm like, you're too small, like stop it. And then dude, she was just going nuts. And then but then if you ask me like today, dude, it's like it's the greatest thing ever. And yeah, I love her so much, my little Suki. When she first got there, like I've read like, shout out Jackson Galaxy. You ever see I Show My Cat from Hell? Okay, it was on Animal Planet.
Were you like pissing on the floor and shit so she knows like whose house it is?
I didn't even have to, dude. She from the foster, like she was already using the litter box and everything. Like she's incredible, dude. But this guy here, hang on, Jackson.
I love that you're like a happy cat dad.
Oh, dude,
it's so sweet.
I told her I'm gonna quit my job just so I can hang out with her all the time.
But then you couldn't spoil her.
I know. This guy here, he has a show. He's basically like the cat whisperer.
Right. He's the Caesar Milan of cats.
Yeah. He has a YouTube. He had a show on Animal Planet, and it was My Cat from Hell, and he basically like did the Caesar thing for cats.
Yeah.
But he has a YouTube channel too, and I've watched like every one of his videos. I've read like everything.
Yeah.
Danielle will do something, and I'll like not yell, but I'll be like, no, she doesn't like that. Like, I'm like, because she has this blanket that she likes, and Danielle brought it in and just threw it on the bed, and I was like, she likes it a certain way. You have to like set it up, and you can't set it up like a donut with the thing in the middle, because whatever she lays on, she doesn't like the surface of. She likes the blanket underneath her, so you have to make like a little nest. Dude, I know what she likes, dude. And
so cute.
But yeah, dude, it's just so when I was reading about like her getting home, like they could be stuck in the carrier and like not stuck, but like not wanting to come out.
Yeah.
And if they do, they like hide in corners and stuff. So she came home. I went out to the car, I brought the carrier in, put it down, unzipped it. She like darted out. She was like zooming around and shit. And then I picked her up and I was holding her and we were watching football. And then we both fell asleep. Dude, it was so cute. And then and then she edited the podcast with me. She was sitting on my lap. And then I go on YouTube and I look up like cat videos with like fish going across the screen. I set up my iPad and she like hits it and shit. But if I set it up like standing up, she tries to look behind it for the fish. So I have to put it on the ground. Yeah. But then she hit it with her nose and paused the video. So I got to see if there's like cute. A lock to like, yeah, dude, it's so much fun. It's so great. And we got her on this like, Danielle found this like cat food that's like really good and like really rated and stuff. Highly rated. Yeah. Something with like World Vet Association for Small Pets or something. I don't know, but like
some made up organization.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I got her this can of Blue Buffalo because I hear that's good. And at the store I went, the grocery store I went to, because now like
there's Blue Buffalo out there.
No, that's a brand. You jerk off. I heard like that's a good one, but then it's like not on the list. So now I'll like tease her and I'll like say to the cat, but so Danielle could hear me like, you can't have this because mommy says it's not approved. But no, yeah, it's great, dude. And I just love it so much.
Can I come over and see her?
Yeah, hell yeah,
please?
yeah.
Oh.
And the day she came home, Danielle's parents came over, and then the other day my mom came over and was like seeing her and stuff. So like she likes people, and where she grew, where the foster where she was, she had like 3 pit bulls and other cats and kids and stuff. So she's like actually like social. She's not like shy and stuff. She might be shy when you first get there, but then like you could go up to her and like touch her and stuff. Dude, it's so good. And she uses the litter box too. Like I said, the first night she pissed on top of the carrier, just because I don't think she knew where her litter box was. But then after that, you know, she only had one other accident. It's because the litter box is in the bathroom, and I was in the bathroom. And she had to get in there, so she went. And
right.
But that was the only other real, you know. And it's so funny because when Danielle brought it up, I was like, about just getting a cat. I was like, yeah, like I was a little bit like reluctant to it. I was like, okay, but I was like, just one thing, like I don't want her in the bed. Second night, she's in the bed. I'm like, she can't be in. We got like this big like mesh thing. It's big. It's like probably as long as this table and like almost as tall as that speaker. So it's probably like 4 feet deep and like 4 or 5 feet deep and like 2.5, 3 feet high, like rectangle.
Right.
You know, little bits. You get the idea.
Sure.
And we put her in that with her scratching post and her litter box. And the first night she slept in that, like all night she slept in there. And then the second night I was like, I don't want to be locking her up all the time.
Yeah.
So we just let her roam.
That's awesome,
dude. And now I'm like, come here, get in the bed. I love her so much, dude. It's so great.
It's nap time.
Mm-hmm.
That's really sweet.
And we were setting up once, and you were reading an article, and you were like, oh, they found a dog with 3 fish hooks in his mouth. And I'm sitting here setting up, and I'm like, add a 4th. I rescind that. That is not my character anymore.
Yeah, that was really fucked up.
I finally get it. There is still some people that post their pets, and I'm like, okay, calm down.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to see me posting her like crazy. But I do get the whole love for a pet thing now. And I'm like, it's so cute and sweet.
It's really special that you have that in your life.
Yeah. And you know, this is kind of like, thinking about it, it's sort of like my first pet.
Yeah.
Like I grew up like, you know, my grandparents had dogs, and I grew up like at my grandparents' house, and I had like hermit crabs and like a lizard once. But like as far as like my pet, this is like,
really
actually that's not really true because I had a dog when I was like a baby, but the dog died. I think I was maybe like 4. So
because you were stuffing fish hooks in its mouth.
No. It was old. It was old. That was actually the first time I made a joke and it bombed.
Oh.
So, and I remember this, right? Because the dog was at the vet, I think, for a long time. And then they had to put the dog down. And it was the same day that Dale Earnhardt died.
Oh, wow.
Right? It was a Sunday. So like,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to a legend. So that happened. Then they got the call from the vet. And I remember this clear as day. Like I was at my grandparents' house, right? And they got the call or whatever, and I realized like everyone was sad. And then I found out what happened, and I said, NASCAR doggy. And and nobody laughed. And I was like, damn, that was like the first time I realized like, oh damn, like I bombed. You know, like to me it's still funny, but oh well.
Gotta revise your set list. NASCAR dog.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That was like my first open mic.
That must have been a really dark day for your family. I mean, Dale Earnhardt
and the dog.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't really go through anything. I was like 4 years old, but no, I definitely get it now. Every time I leave the house, like if I stop somewhere, I'm looking for cat toys. I'm looking for something.
That's so
like
cute.
I go in there. I got all these toys, and she like, dude, I got this one thing that goes on the window. Like we have a big sliding glass door, and it's like a bed that suction cups to the window. And I put her on it a couple times, and she wasn't having it. She jumped right down. And then the box fort's in the corner. She sleeps in the box fort.
Yeah.
I'm like, you son of a bitch.
That's a famous thing with cats.
Yeah, but now she likes it. She lays in the window, and we have these big bumblebees outside now, and she like likes to look at the bumblebees.
That's so cute.
Dude, I love her so much. So, my little
Does
Suki.
she also complain about your downstairs neighbors cooking?
I don't think so. Not yet. But
Can I tell you about my workplace drama?
I'd love to. Yeah.
So I don't know if I talked about this at all on the podcast, but I'll try and keep it as short as possible. Basically, you know, my work hours are, I think I can say this.
Yeah, I think there's like some things I think we could just say, because I mean people work. Like,
yeah, who gives a fuck?
They're not going to be able to narrow down your job when you tell them that you work from 6 to 2:30.
Yeah, okay. So I work 6 to 2:30.
I work 7 to 5.
Awesome.
How's that? Does that make you feel better?
It's not 10 hours.
Yeah.
Jeez. 4 days a week. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I was worried about you. Burp. Anyway, I work, dude. It didn't taste good.
Oh,
I worked 6 to 2:30. Or I do work 6 to 2:30, and but sometimes a certain group of people will come in at 5 to set up, so that like there's stuff to do when everybody else gets there. The rule has always been, and you can attest to this, the rule has always been, you come in at 5, you get like a little 10-minute break around 6, right? And then you're back on the floor. Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
I'll
like
listen.
there are times when like the whole team, like the whole department has to come in at 5. Maybe it's a holiday. Maybe we're like really busy.
Did we come in at 4 once?
That happened?
I think so.
I don't remember that. I probably said fuck that. Anyway, so the rule's always been you get 10 minutes if you come in at 5. Otherwise, you know, working 6 to 2:30, you get one like half-hour break and then one lunch break, right? Well, there's been this group of people that's spearheaded by, we'll just call her Big.
Wait, can we call her Macy?
Macy?
Yeah.
Okay, Macy, a.k.a. Big. Macy is like sort of the second in command. She's like, they call her the shift lead. She's like, you know, our boss, our supervisor is like never really on the floor. He handles like big picture shit. Macy is like in charge of the day to day. She's like telling us where to go and stuff. Anyway, Macy is like a cock juggling thunder, which I stole from the TV show Weeds, but I never forgot it when Kevin Nealon said that.
Wow.
This super duper mega. I'm just like, I'm not sexist, misogynistic, but this woman deserves it, okay?
Yeah.
And anyway, Macy and this like group of thugs that she runs, they're all women. They come in at 5. They set up or whatever, and then usually around 6:15, 6:20, they'll go on break.
Yeah.
And they'll come back at like 7, 7:05, 7:10. They're consistently
40
taking
minutes?
40 to 50 minute breaks. There have been days where I clocked them at like 50 plus minutes.
And then they go on the half hour?
Yeah.
At the breakfast
Yeah.
break and then the half hour lunch?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're basically getting 3 breaks when everybody else gets 2.
And they're getting almost 2-hour breaks when you only get for
Yeah.
working an extra hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well, that's the thing, though. It's not an extra hour because they leave an hour early, too.
Oh, shit.
If you come in at 5, in their case,
You
come
leave
in
at
at 5,
1:30?
you leave at 1:30.
Holy
so
shit.
They
So
get 3 breaks, and they get
an
to
hour,
leave.
An hour, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. So they're working 6 hours and
Basically, which at
10
that point,
minutes.
you're just, like, stealing time from the company.
yeah. Wow.
So
okay, I'll bleep this.
yeah.
Okay.
You know it.
Okay.
The person you just said, we'll call her Mustache.
Oh my god!
I never heard you laugh like that before.
That would just. Sometimes you'll send me a meme and I'll genuinely laugh like that because it hits me out of nowhere like that. And if you send me some shit and it gets me in a mood like that, I sent you a picture of me laughing at one the other day.
Yeah.
Sometimes you send me shit and it just lines up like the stars are aligned.
I love you, bro.
I love you too, man. That shit.
Macy and Mustache.
Do you know why I said Macy?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I got that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So you know why I said mustache?
Yes.
Anyway, so it's the 2 of them and then like 2 other women that you don't know.
Okay.
And all 4 of them are just like a little band of like criminals, and they leave us. Not only are they getting all these benefits, but they're also leaving us high and dry. Like, you know, like we're down 4 people for like almost an hour. You know?
Then an hour at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
So
when
for
they
2
leave early.
hours,
Yeah. So they're like really fucking over the team.
Yeah.
And like then when they come back from break, they want to like rush us and like send the boxes real close. Like, fuck you. Like, where
do you want that in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Because I work with boxes. Like,
Well, I don't know. I think you've said assembly line before.
yeah, whatever. I don't
okay.
give a shit.
Okay.
Anyway, so the other day we had like a meeting on the floor that our supervisor called.
Polo?
And, what?
Polo?
Yeah, polo. And So he calls a meeting to address 2 points. One of them was like an incident that had happened the day before, and he was like, just like somebody fucked up, and he was like, okay, guys, you got to pay attention to this specific point or whatever. But then he brought up like, he was like, people, because, there's like a couple of us, myself included, who like come in a little late. And
you said it earlier about the apple fritters that you were late all the time.
And I do mean a little late. Like, we're supposed to be on the floor at no later than 6:10.
Okay.
If I'm walking in the door at like 6:12 or 6:13, like, that's bad. But like,
wait, in the door from your car or in the door to the apartment?
Like on the floor.
Okay.
At 6:12, whatever. I'm not excusing it, but I'm just saying it's not like I'm like outrageously late. But anyway,
anymore.
Yeah, exactly. No, I have had to turn over a new leaf. Yeah. Anyway, so it's like me and like a couple other guys and Captain Morgan.
Oh
yeah, she lives like so far away, so like her time fluctuates. She's late all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Polo called a meeting, and he was like, everybody in the department is at this meeting, and he's like, listen, guys, like we there's some people who are coming in late. Like, we really need to work on punctuality.
Yeah.
He said it's like not fair to the rest of the team, and like we're here to support like our team members or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he, like said his whole like spiel, and then he like wrapped it up, and he's like, okay, does anybody have like any other questions, comments, concerns, issues they want to raise or whatever? And I raised my hand. I was like shaking, like literally I'm like trying to steady my hand. And he was like, yeah, what's up? And I said, okay, like you're talking about like being on time. And, my voice is like shaking, and
I wish I was there to back you up.
Yeah.
Man. I would have, damn it, I should have seen if my badge worked just to be there.
I'm like, oh, you talk about being on time and like fairness and, supporting the team. I said, like, on that note, there's a certain group of women. I didn't say that. I said, there's a particular group of people who are who come in early to set up, mm-hmm. and they're consistently taking 45 or 50-minute breaks like every day. I said, it's not fair, like it leaves us high and dry. I said all the shit I just said to you. Mm-hmm. And so first of all, like, and other people backed me up on this. He was like weirdly like aggressive and defensive
about them.
Me. Yeah, like
that's weird.
He was like, huh, well, that doesn't sound accurate. And he's like kind of grinning. And I'm like, what the fuck? How you you slime ball? And I even said before he said that, I was like, like other people can back me up on this. Like everybody here knows it. He said, oh, that doesn't sound accurate. How the fuck are you going to tell me that doesn't sound accurate? First of all, cocksucker, you don't come in until like 8:30. So you're not here when the shit is happening.
Yeah.
Second of all, you have access to like when they
go in the doors.
Yeah, like you scan your badges to get in certain doors. Like you can look up that information, see what I'm telling you. Like just, and he's done that for me. Like in the past when he calls me out.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, like I'll definitely look into that or whatever. Like fuck off. Couple minutes later, I get called into his office because he's calling like everybody who's consistently late. He's calling them, like having a meeting with him. And he basically said he's going to look into it or whatever, or like he's going to make sure, blah, blah, blah. And then like the next day, like they're still doing it. And it's like, whoa, that's crazy. You're not even going to pretend to give a shit for like a week or so, like lay low. Like,
yeah. Wow.
So, but anyway, I've now been getting like, I'm now essentially being shunned by like 4 of my coworkers.
Wow.
And it's like kind of a hostile work environment. Like,
yeah.
So
now I do want to say, when I started there, Macy was not there. She was absent for a while.
Oh, she was in another department, right?
No, she was away.
Really?
Yeah. And
I don't remember that.
And you did say that like she was cool. And you did like her at one point.
Yeah.
And I just you're not supposed to do this with cats, and they're probably no, didn't make it. You're not supposed to do this with cats. You're probably not supposed to do it with dogs either. But like, if the cat makes a mess, you shouldn't like rub their face in it or show, But this situation's a little bit different. Just about every time I haven't liked somebody, sometimes it could be a little bit like irrational, but it always comes back around that I was right.
I don't know if that's true, but well, Jack,
yeah,
Macy,
yeah. So I'm not saying
2 people.
well, I'm 2 for 2 is 100%.
Yeah.
So, but that's crazy though, dude.
Yeah, no, it's upsetting. But
Yeah.
oh, and then apparently they were talking to. I'm getting this information like third hand, but like apparently they like straight up were calling me a snitch in front of everybody. Yeah, which is crazy because
that's what the meeting's for, though. Like, what? Do you
like calling me a snitch and also like giving me the silent treatment and shit. Like, fucking. Where the fuck do you get off acting like you're the victim, acting like I'm the bad guy? No, you were doing something wrong, and you fucking know it, you scumbags, and you just don't like being called out on it.
And where do they go? They go
to the cafeteria. They just like chill.
They just sit there.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy though, man.
It is crazy. And one of the chicks who's like now icing me out is, I said chicks again. It's okay. Carol doesn't listen anymore. One of the women who, you know, is a little piece of shit, was like kind of like a buddy of mine, sort of. And
I don't know the other two.
No, you don't know. They're both newer. Yeah.
Well,
but anyway, so
that stinks.
Yeah,
you gotta go to work, and it's
Yeah, and it's like uncomfortable, and like, but you want to be rude to me? Okay, I'll start going to HR. And like if Polo doesn't do anything, I'm going over his head to his boss, who you don't know. Like, she does not like people. I like stealing company time.
Yeah.
Like, wait till she finds out.
But you gotta clean yourself up a little.
Well, that's the thing. I've now been coming in like strictly on time every fucking
combat,
day.
right on time.
Combat?
Yeah.
What?
Combat. So there was a guy we worked with, and this goes back to me getting.
Yeah.
Combat like has a cat that he's like in love with.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was like funny. He talked about his cat. Now I totally get it.
Yeah.
Like all you want to do is just go home and like hang out with his cat.
Cats are lovely.
Yeah, dude, they're the best. And I never thought I'd be a cat person.
Yeah.
I never was really an animal person. Dude, I love this cat so much. I'm gonna bring her on the podcast one time.
I hope you do.
She's gonna sit right here and take a nap.
I hope you do. She's a good girl. She'll probably stay right there.
Yeah, dude, she's the best. We could actually bring. Well, I can bring all this to my house. We could do a podcast at my house.
That's
and
awesome.
This way she could just sit right here.
Let's do it.
We'll just put her on the podcast.
I do just want to say, on the note of me being on time, the other day I walked onto the floor right at 6:10. Apparently, right before I walked in, she was like going like, "Oh, Brady's not here. Brady's not here." To like everybody, you can't do that.
Some people just like to be miserable.
Yeah,
but
I've said the word a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to censor it probably a couple times.
Oh, for YouTube reasons?
Yeah, probably.
It's so lame.
I know.
YouTube, you're a bunch of.
I know, but if we want to be there, we got to play to their rules. That's another thing. Oh, speaking about jobs, this is something too. I know we've talked about like hey, this is gonna be a roundabout thing, and we'll wrap up with this so you can get out of here. But like there's a lot of people like online, like Andrew Tate, and in that world, right? And they talk to like young guys on the internet, like how to live. Oh, you got to be investing all this shit. Like no, like it is. And we want to be like giving real advice, like
drop out of college, work at Papa John's.
Yeah, work at Papa John's, start a podcast with your best friend that you met at Papa John's, and then fucking waste all your time doing that. Then get a cat when you're 27, and it'll change who you are to your core. But I just want to put this out there. You do not have to be cool at work.
Yeah.
I cannot stand when I'm dealing with somebody, and you know they're younger. You could tell they're like high school, early college age, and they're just trying to be cool at work.
Yeah.
Like it's the most infuriating thing ever. Yeah. I went to Chipotle the other day, and I'm walking up to the thing. There's nobody else there. There's one kid at the counter. There's another kid at the press thing right at the front,
sure.
Right? And he's turned around talking to somebody behind him. If you're talking about work stuff, I'll wait as long as you need me to. If you're just dicking around talking, put a pin in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sorry. So I'm waiting there, and he's talking or whatever. And he turns around and he asks me what I want. Now, usually you tell him if you want a bowl burrito, whatever. Then you tell him the rice, the beans, and the meat.
Yeah.
So I tell him all that. And then he points all the way down there, and he says, okay, what from down there? He didn't even put the burrito in the thing yet.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, that's not your job to worry about that part.
Yeah.
Because one, there's a guy down there, and two, you're not going to remember.
Yeah.
So I tell him, so angry.
What? I just have like a little thing
sure.
to interrupt. I fucking hate it when you say like, okay, let's say you're like, oh, can I get a bowl with chicken? And they like get the bowl and they like start scooping the shit and they're like, what kind of meat? And you're like, oh, I told you 15 seconds ago, you can't keep that.
Well, dude, that's what I'm saying. So I tell him I want a burrito with brown rice, black beans, and sofritas. All right.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, then what from down there? So I said pico and a little bit of cheese. And he goes, okay, I'm gonna try to remember that.
Doesn't even have the confidence in himself.
So he does it, he scoops it, and he slides down. And after he gets past the sofritas, he slides it down and he grabs the fucking thing, the scoop for the sour cream. You said sour cream, and I'm like, no, I did it. Now, I don't like sour cream.
Yeah.
I'll tolerate it if it's in something that somebody made.
Yeah.
But when I'm ordering and I tell you what I want, sorry, I'm a Karen. I'm not tolerating. So I made him make a new one.
Yeah.
I'm not.
As you should.
Yeah. So anyway, he goes back and he's doing it. And now he gets it right, whatever. But now as he's doing like the cheese and stuff and like rolling it up, some kid comes in over here and he's like looking up and he's like, oh, he goes, I knew it was you. I knew it was you. He's like, oh man, he goes, do you go to Rutgers? He goes, I saw you driving. And he's like talking to this kid and he's like rolling up the burrito, but the shit's spilling out the sides. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like talking to this kid. Now, if he knows him or whatever, I don't care. But it's just like, why are you trying to be cool right now, dude? Like, there's nothing wrong with working at Chipotle. But it's not a place you got to be cool. And I made a note as soon as I got in the car. I wrote podcast topics. You don't have to be cool at work. It you know, and I know sometimes, like at that age too, and I don't know how old he was. Maybe he was 20, 21. You know, you don't love being seen at work. You know, especially if you work at a place where you don't think is cool. Again, there's nothing wrong with working at Chipotle. But it, you know, could be in his head that, and I'm totally, I wrote a whole background on this kid. I don't know anything about him. But just assuming he thinks it's not like a cool job and he's just like, it's like a temporary thing for him. But like, it's okay to not be cool. And also just in general, like if that's your whole like MO in life, just trying to be as cool as possible all the time, you're going to burn out quick because then you're going to get to be 27, 28, you know, and you're just going to be like, it's impossible. It's impossible to just still be cool. You know, like, I don't know about you, but like I try to like have a different like outfit or whatever for each episode. But like there's gonna be a point where like you're gonna see every shirt I own, and then it's just gonna be like whatever. And you're like so far there that you've worn that shirt on like 8 episodes already.
Don't care.
And I don't know. That was just
I'm me.
You are me. You. Yeah.
You are me. You.
I was gonna say you are me, but you're not me. You're you.
I feel like you sometimes.
Really? Yeah. You've gotten the rage, dude, and I've gotten it all out.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
I wished death upon a guy earlier today.
Really?
I was telling my girl, like, I was like,
that's crazy.
I hope that guy dies,
and
I wasn't joking.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See that you can't go that far.
No, because the guy was driving like 95 miles per hour, weaving in and out of traffic. He was one of those people. Got an earbud in.
What kind of car?
I don't want him dead. An Audi TT.
Okay.
I think. And it was just like
those
slumped.
Are nice cars.
And
fun cars to drive.
I bet.
Can't blame them.
Yeah, no, you can't because you're putting people's lives in danger.
Well, yeah, you don't have to be cool all the time.
Yeah.
It's just it's okay, you know. And it was just like you could tell how he was like talking. And the kid wasn't even responding like he knew. Like he was just like, yeah, like because he was like, oh, I think I saw you when I was driving the other day. Were you going to Rutgers? And like the kid was just like, yeah. Like, you know. But that's my message.
Yeah.
What else? You got anything else?
No.
Yeah, that's okay. Next one, I promise. Historical Figure Fight Club. I'll have pictures of Suki. We do have 2 questions still sitting in the email. Probably somebody. I hope it's not like life or death advice they need it because it's been about 3 weeks now. But if you're emailing our podcast for that type of advice, there's other things going on. It's the Z-Listers podcast. Thanks to. So disrespectful. I already have to censor all the gross talk from the beginning just because it's so gross. Now I'm trying to do the outro, and that's how you end it. Can you? You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Because now I gotta make a clear distinction which mic that was. Because that's disgusting. It's been the Z-Listers podcast. If you like this, why? See you in the next one. Love you. Bye-bye.